welcome, George, to the show today. We have filmed this now. This is our third time filming this. So this one is going to make it on the channel. Welcome so much.
Well, thank you so much. I guess we will see the first two. Maybe I just wasn't good enough for you. I don't know. But either
That's
way, we'll see if we get on there this time. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
This is the one. This is the one. George is the authority of AI. He has a YouTube channel. He has the largest free community, like completely free community that he shows up to, does coaching, gives the most value for free in school, which you guys can find that link in the description if you want to check that out.
Hannah said, I started with physical business back in 2019, left my corporate job and had multiple warehouses, really took off on that, found POD later on in life, about 2022, 2023. I wish I would have found this sooner, but then started opening stores with that as well. And I just recently sold my physical business actually last year. So I no longer have that. I still own the name. I still own all the rights.
Awesome. And so now you've been on this mission of coaching, print on demand, all of the things. And today we are actually this is a kind of different than when I normally have guests on. Normally we dive deep on more of like personal stuff, which I think we'll still follow up with that at the end. But this is more of like a workshop style video. So we're going to be showing you the opportunity of AI, print on demand, digital products. And I am really not the expert in this space when it comes to just like AI design, just design in general. I don't make that claim on my channel since I fundamentally I'm not a designer. We sell physical goods. We don't do graphic design and stuff like that. So today in this workshop, we're going to go through a little bit of a case study of how you can actually utilize AI to make winning designs validated with real data. So I am going to share my screen here first because we're going to do a little bit of product research first. And then George is going to go behind me and he's actually going to see if we can successfully build some graphics that we can actually sell for good money on Etsy live with you on camera and see if it's actually really possible. Because like I said, I've tried, I've tried to do the standard things. I haven't dedicated hours and hours and days and time into that, but George has. So I'm excited to see, and hopefully you guys get a lot of value because AI is inevitable and everyone should be at least allowing for some hours of your work week into learning AI, especially if you're in print on demand or digital downloads. Could you agree with that? Or would you agree with that, George?
110%. AI is not here to replace anybody. And a lot of people fear that it's going to literally take over your jobs. It's not going to take over your jobs. You just need to know one, how to use it, and one, how to use it for your benefit. It's there as a tool to make your life easier, to allow you to adapt faster, to, position yourself quicker, get listings up, designs up, things like that, that were not available previously, that it would take you months, weeks, even years to even formulate, you can do in minutes now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cool. All right. Well, let's hop into it. I know one thing on Etsy right now that has been pretty good is custom portraits. So we're pulling up Profit Tree right now, which is not only an ads optimization tool, but a profit tracking tool. But now coming this month, we're dropping a product research tool and an Etsy radar tool, both of which should ideally replace any of your monthly subscriptions that you're paying for in terms of product research, because we have a really good lifetime access deal and we'll show you exactly what you get. And that one-time payment includes the product finder, the Etsy radar, 30 days of profit tracking, 30 days of ads optimization, your COGS management, all that stuff. But this is really the bread and butter. This is where we go one-to-one with everyone else, but then give you more value. So we're just going to type in a word here called, we'll say custom portrait. Okay. So it's now going to find us a bunch of Etsy listings with that keyword, right? And so the first thing we want to do is we want to validate, is it even possible to make sales with something that's AI generated? Can we validate that in the marketplace? And lo and behold, you can see right here, one of the first searches that come up is a listing that is pretty AI. I mean, to me, it looks AI generated. So 2 have sold in the last 24 hours. There's an estimated $14,000 dollars in total revenue. And surprisingly, it's selling for a little bit more high ticket than say like a $2 custom portrait. So this is the portrait, it looks like this. And the really valuable thing, if you're trying to ever do product research, and I'm not sure if you agree with this, but I truly like to look at what's in demand now. So just because something has really good estimated revenue, right? If it doesn't have any add to cards or any demand badge, like 13 sold, like this one, 13 sold in the last 24 hours, then the revenue could be a little bit outdated because all of these are any product research tools estimating revenue. So, George, I don't know if you agree with that. Is that something that you would want to look at?
I agree with that 110%. I also would like to just note that a lot of these top sellers are pushing ads. So this is great, for having profit tree so that you can watch your ad spend and all that. But I just want to notate that when you see a bestseller and you see somebody having tons of sales in like a day or even just within that past hour, it's likely that they're pushing ads. So don't think that this is all going to just be organic traffic.
Yeah. And there actually is a column here so that it shows their ads. Well, it shows the strategy, whether or not they're running ads, if there's personalization, all that stuff. Average order value, that's a big one. I noticed with a lot of the top custom portraits, they do have drop down menus. And obviously they all have personalization because you have to submit, the personalization request. But a lot of these actually have variation options. Some of them are in frames. Some of them are just buying the digital asset. Some of them you can actually print them. And so these prices are just the lowest price in that drop down menu. So let's just come back over here. So like this one, there's no variation options, but it's selling at a good price. 2 people bought in the last 24 hours, which is really good. But yeah, this one is pretty straightforward. I would say I personally would not know how to recreate it, but
Now,
um,
one thing with this one as well is this is just a digital one. You can
mhm.
actually step up your game and sell this on a canvas, wall art,
Mm,
framed poster, things like that, and really get more margin. So it's all about margin, how much money you make at the end of the day. So
right,
something like this right here, if you were to change that, like they're showing it in a frame, but they're only showing that digital aspect of it. If you push it over into framed artwork, you could sell it for 5 times much
more,
and get, 60% margin on that and really, have that cash going right into your pocket.
right. Yeah, like this one, 13 people bought in the last 24 hours, right? And they have like all these tier of upsells where you can sell it in a frame, you can buy it on paper, which
Yeah.
that having this drop down menu that increases your average order value. All
You
of
don't even have to do it on, frame either. I mean, there's, like, dogs, portraits, and things like that that are going on cell phone cases, so you
them.
can easily adapt and sell on, various different items. It's just a market that a lot of people don't know how to get into right now.
Right. This one has 16 carts. It's like a cartoon one, right? This one's
Yeah, and I just replicated that one, and I look retarded in it, but it's okay. So,
uh,
everybody's about to see that one in a minute.
That's all right. Cool. So basically, we want to validate the first thing right here. That first step is really just like we said, we want to validate that, like, is the AI kind of art even selling? And so, surefire sign right here, right? You want to validate your choices with data. So, like, if you can't find something that you would be competing for the same customer avatar as you, right? Like, so what I mean by that is like, let's just say, the person that's going to buy this is a very different person that's going to buy this. Those are two completely different vibes. So if you're trying to build this, or this is what you had in your mind, this very, cartoon, I don't even know what you call it, cartoon. Is it animation type of, like, you look like you're in an animation movie?
That one is like a animation type of Pixar style. Now, you don't wanna use Pixar as an actual keyword, because obviously it is trademarked, but that's exactly what style this is.
Correct. And then, yeah, even to that point, like, you could use ChatGPT to then say, what are alternative words to Pixar that I could use in my Etsy, all those things, all those workarounds where it's like, technically that's what it is. But if you wanted to build something like if this was what you had in your mind to build, right, you would want to validate that you have actual competition, right, that are, or it's working, like that there's actually people buying, there's demand for what you want to buy. And if it's working just as a digital download, then surely it would probably work on a piece of paper or a frame or something like that. But I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and I'm going to let George take over because I think we want to go after this one. So let's see if we can actually go ahead and recreate something like this. I think we're going to try to recreate. You had another one that I think something like this, the
Yeah,
line.
I'm gonna actually, show a couple other ones, and then I'll show in real time on how to create something, how long it takes, and everything like that, but I did already, to save us time and save the viewer time, created a couple, and I'll show you exactly. It's a very simple prompt.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm going to stop presenting now so you can go ahead and share your screen. You're just using basic ChatGPT.
Yeah, so this is just ChatGPT over here, and I've already done one here, and this is just a photo of my wife, and I said, using this photo, make it into a 2025 style cartoon picture. So it
Mhm.
replicated it, took about 3 minutes to pop up, took
Mm,
all her features, everything like that, and just put it in here.
wow.
Eye color, hair, it looks really nice, and it came out uh, amazing for only 3 minutes and with such a little tiny prompt that you can use. Now, you can do this in the free version of ChatGPT. I do pay the $20 a month. That's just, what I do because I use it nonstop 24/7. Now, with that being said, there is a limit when you have the free version. You may not be able to get too many out of them.
Okay. Okay. And so that's the only difference between like it's not that the free versus the paid is better quality, it's just that you actually get more amounts. Is that what the difference is?
Yes, I mean, I've went about 2.5 hours straight doing images before it stopped me and said, "Hey, you wanna wait 15 minutes."
Okay.
So this one's a cartoon style, and I did another one earlier with me and her, and I tried that Iowa, style, and I completely look weird with a round head, but this is something that everybody could offer here as well. It kept the background behind us, it kept the colors of everything, and it just made my head look very round. So that was interesting. She looks a lot cuter than me.
Remember, that actually is the keyword. That keyword so I'm sending you the link now. Just open that link I sent you. That
Yeah.
that style, that's a legit style. Like that is
Yeah.
6 cards. I guess that's kind of what it is. So, I mean, even that.
We add a little background to it, which is pretty easy. You would have to do that in maybe Canva or even Kittl. You can easily do that just by taking this image and then just, placing it right over the top of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So quick, simple, easy.
Interesting.
After that, I did another style here called GTA 5 because I always think that the GTA 5 is kind of cool. It keeps your face structure in here. It also doesn't make me look so round in the face, which is great. Normally, ChatGPT hates me, makes me look like a very old man. And in this case, it did not. So I'm giving a thumbs up for this one.
That's always good. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then I guess you could do any type. I think you can do like doll type. You could do oh yeah, the Pixar type. Um,
We're going to do a Pixar one in just 2 seconds. I'm actually going to do that in real time for us.
oh,
So one more with an outline. So this is my dog. She actually recently passed away, so I wanted to just honor her with this little cutout of a cartoon, coloring book, sorry. So outline of a coloring book, that's all I typed in was make this image into an outline for a coloring book, and it did that. This is something that you can easily do, especially during Mother's Day, quarter 4. You'll be able to have, moms and their children, and then send it off as coloring books that they can have fun with and play together.
or
So this
even like that thin art, like open the link, the last link I just sent you, that goes one to one. Like basically if you could make a prompt, I mean, not even like the link I sent you, like that almost
where the link you sent me is.
yeah, that one. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
line art actually literally goes one to one with that we found in product research. Like that is literally the same. Like
Yeah,
honestly, that could be the same thing right there, and just throw it on like a wall art like that.
it would take just a little bit more. We would have to probably type in the one-line drawing. You mess around with the prompt a little bit here and there. We're kind of using just basic prompts to get these images, but if you typed it in like that and say one-line drawing, and then add it in there and say I want it to look like this, it
Oh,
would actually create that. So if you have your original image and you'll tell ChatGPT, hey, this is the original image, so you'd say, where am I? This right here. This is the original image, and
yeah,
then add in the other one. I
yeah.
can even try that right now, actually.
Because honestly, I would say that is kind of one. I don't know what one line drawing means, but like that
And
is
you
like
make it look like this. And we'll see what happens in this case. Now, while that's going, because that is going to take probably about 3 minutes, I'm gonna go to this next one here
okay.
just to show you. This is a Barbie style one that I did here, using this photo, make it into a Barbie style. And if you notice, it originally it did it and it left the Barbie name, which we have to get rid of because you
Yeah.
cannot have Barbie on there.
Yeah.
Plus, it made her pink, and
Yeah.
I don't know why it made her pink, but it made everything pink.
Yeah.
So it said, "Her skin is pink, please correct this," and
Yeah.
then it did correct this by keeping everything else a nice pink color, but removing that.
Okay.
So
Maybe put
all
it say type in "remove the Barbie," see what that does.
Yeah, all you have to do is actually click on it, and
Uh,
then from there, you can type in your little edit down here, describe what you wanna add or remove,
wow. Okay.
and then you would just have them remove that Barbie, logo by saying, remove the words from the photo.
Okay. Man, I'm late to this game. I don't know any of this
It's
stuff.
actually it's very easy to use. Before, you weren't able to do this. If you were to edit this in any way and
Mhm.
say, "Hey, remove the words," it would spit out a completely different image, and you'd be like, What the fuck?" Pretty much, like, "What did you do? Why did you mess this up?"
Yeah.
Whereas now, you can edit this with just a simple, word correction there.
Mm.
Here, this is still loading. We're gonna see. Hopefully, fingers crossed that this does do the one line. It's probably because I said make it look like this, and may even put it in a frame. Who even knows?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is all real time, so we're gonna see what happens here.
But I would imagine, like, just like the Barbie one or the Kawaii one or whatever, it's like if you do this over and over again, like, you will know what prompts just end up working every single time, basically, and with what images.
And it only takes it's good that we're doing it in real time too, because you could see how long it actually takes. Oh, okay, so it actually is making it the one line. This is perfect.
Okay.
Um, People could see how fast it is.
Mm.
Whereas if we're speeding up things, they may be like, "Oh, well, it does it take 10 minutes to spit out a photo?" As you can see, we're gonna have this photo out within less than 2 minutes now,
Yeah.
and done. That's how quick you can get a customer's portrait, fixed in ChatGPT and replicate it, send it off to them either if you want to offer that type of, saying, "Hey, what do you think?" or "What do you not like?" or whatnot, or if you wanna just skip that whole process of proofs and just send it right to production, you could do that as well. So
Right, and just for this one the way this listing reads is it's, like, for 1 person, 1 pet, it's $9, but they have upsells for more people. But then if you actually had, like, you were printing it on a paper or something like that, then it's like you already are getting, a higher sale price or a higher order value. Oh, wow, that's cool.
it actually did it, yeah. So this was the original, right?
Yeah.
Right
Yep.
here, and this photo actually won her so many contests, and on top of that, has probably 2,000 likes on Amazon. So, rest in
Yeah.
peace, but he really took it off the map with this little lion mane here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then from here, we created into a coloring book, and then we created the one-line art, and there it
Yeah.
is. And this
Yeah.
is exactly kind of like how this one is.
Yeah, exactly like that, but also I've seen that on hoodies, I've seen that on mugs, like, right, you could put that on a whole bunch of different products as well, so it's like, one art or whatever, you could then put it on a whole bunch of different products, so really,
Yep.
really cool to see stuff, so simple, I just honestly, this is all just, like, so new to me, I just didn't even.
Send me that link to that one with, like, the burst oil painting. I'm curious because I have never went with that before, so I want to test that out.
Okay. I know there's like I don't know if it's Canva, but I know there are tools that will just turn something into watercolor, but let's just see if we can
Canva
do it.
definitely does that as well as Kittle, I know that, but I'm curious if ChatGPT can do it if I ask it to replicate it.
Yeah, let's see what we can do here.
Okay, so I'm gonna open this. What I'm gonna do is copy this image here because I
Mhm.
don't know what prompt. You can actually do that and ask what prompt as well. So I'm gonna use it. I uploaded a photo already. I'm gonna say, turn this photo into oh, hold on. Let me rephrase this. Turn the photo of my wife so it knows it's just one person into the same style as the second picture attached. So something just simple, just like that. I can't
Mhm.
spell worth a shit, so don't mind that.
Fine.
And here we go. We will see what happens.
Cool. Cool,
So
cool.
normally I always say something like wife, family. Now this is just me. I usually say something like that so they know that I am the owner of that photo. Whether or not that really goes that far these days, who knows? But it does, like, in my opinion, show that you own that photo. You know this person that you're actually putting on
Mhm.
ChatGPT versus just random things. So in this case, if you are having clients, you'd be like, "My client sent me this photo. Can you please
Mhm.
look into it?" That's how I personally handle these things. But that is completely up to you. You can mess with the prompts however you want.
And with ChatGPT, like this is all like you're allowed to sell this, right?
Yeah.
With the it doesn't matter if you have the free or the pro, like you can sell or
Yeah,
you have
you download it, and the biggest thing that I want you to know, though, is when you're doing this is don't add those keywords. So if you're doing,
mm,
Barbie or Pixar, things like that, do not add that in your listing because that is a no-go. If you are adding this into ChatGPT to create that style photo, you would have to ask for that style. So if you say, "Turn this into a Pixar photo," it won't do it. You'll get an error. But if
right.
you say, "Turn this into a Pixar style photo," then it will. It'll give you the similarities of Pixar, but it's not gonna make it 100%
God.
Pixar.
Right, right. Yeah, so big, big no-no because you can get banned, you can get your listings taken down, and you do not wanna do that. So
Oh,
make
it is actually making it. Look at this. This is
sure
wild. So without even needing the prompt, I just added these 2 pictures. It has the blue, little, it's kind of like an oil painting, and it's actually turning her into that. So that is amazing. This is one that I've never done, and I actually launched a video of me creating 25 different characters on my channel, and this
Mhm.
is one that I did not do. So this is a first for myself, and I know it's a first for you. So
Yeah, no, for me, for sure. For me, for sure. Because I think the last time I tried to do anything with images, it was just so bad that I was like, all right, this is so I was just like not convinced that we were here yet. So we are here. Oh
I'm
my
actually glad
God, it looks really good.
I'm really glad that we did this one because I was gonna do that Pixar style, but every time I do Pixar style, it makes her, cheeks chubby, and I know that she would kill me if she watches this back, so
Well,
I'm
your
glad
wife
that
is
we went with this versus the other one.
your wife is hot.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, this looks so good.
Yeah, now that does change a little bit of their texture, so if you want like, if you see this is the original picture here,
Yeah,
and it will make her look a little different. It does that with everybody. It usually, like I said earlier, makes me look like a 60-year-old man.
yeah.
But for her, it kind of keeps most of it. There's a little bit off putting. It kind of aged her as well.
No, I don't think
Not
so at
too
all. I
bad.
think it sounds good. But, yeah, I mean, and I think, like, the value proposition of this, especially with print on demand, is, like, then you take it a step further and you, like, print it on physical stuff, especially because now that you can offer that. I
This
mean,
is
do
the one that I love. I love this style, and I also love the DPA style. So this is a regular, just you typing in 2025 cartoon style. You can even do it as like the 1980 style cartoon, but I really like this one and these ones. I think that those are cool. But if you do, having options is important. Now, from here, really quick, I just want to show you how fast and quick you can easily get this onto, a mock-up. So I already launched one on Photoshop here, and this would be a mock-up that I downloaded from Creative Fabrica or Fabrica, however you want to pronounce this company. And if you have Photoshop or Photopea, which is free, Photopea is free, you
okay,
can click on this and it opens it up, and then you would add your image. So here's my image that I added. This is another one I created again with that GTA 5 style. And
okay.
you go File, Save, and boom, there it is. Now
Wow,
you already have something that you can instantly throw onto your Etsy, listing, or you can even put it into a Facebook ad or whatnot. And
yeah.
it just took 2 seconds as I just clicked it. That's it.
Where do you find the best mock-ups to buy?
So I like mockup. I like Creative Fabrica or Fabrica, whatever, Creative Market, as well as just maybe even reaching out to somebody on Upwork and having them create one for you.
Yeah, okay, those are the big go-tos. You don't buying them on Etsy or you think on Etsy it's not good?
Not really. It's not really necessary. Like, if I type in, like, wall art,
Okay.
you have so many different options, and this only $9 a month. I mean, they
Yeah.
have $4 a month, but that's $4 if you're buying it in a whole entire year. So,
Okay.
it's usually $9 a month if you're paying monthly, but you have so many different options that you could choose from.
Right,
And this
right,
is what's important about, whatever you have, like cell phone case or even wall art, it needs to match what you're going to be putting the
right.
paint in. So say if you have a pink style image, then
Yeah,
the pink room would kind of make it, pop, or maybe something that's off putting. So green and pink go good. So maybe something green in there. You want it to stand out and stop that scroll, but you could do the same thing with phone case, mock-ups.
mhm,
And a lot of people, if you're watching this, right now, you could take these same style images and put them on cell phones. And in September, iPhone's launching a new cell phone. So if you want to do it that way, you can definitely, kill the market with this by
Yeah.
putting custom images of the pets or even people themselves onto those cases and really unload. But
Yeah.
having these mock-ups right here are very important for that.
Yeah, especially with Christmas. Oh my gosh, so many, so many. The sky is the limit, literally. Now, what is the actual strategy? Like, what would you do to actually compete, especially if, well, it didn't look that competitive yet, but eventually all things become competitive. So, what would you do, particularly to compete with everyone else in the market?
Well, first of all, I think that we probably should have looked up how to pronounce, let me just say it, how to pronounce kawaii, whatever it is.
Whatever, you saw the word on screen, you can
I
look
mean, literally, we talked about this before and all that, and we still didn't do it, and we didn't do it. But whatever. Here we go. All right. The biggest thing is with whatever listing, it doesn't even matter if it's this listing or not. Anything that you have on Etsy or even on your own, social platform, social media, or Shopify or Everbee store, whatever you go with, you need to stop a scroll. And that's the most important part. So you need to have a visually appealing photo that's going to stop somebody from scrolling. And most people are using their phones these days. And anybody that knows, when you're on your phone, you're scrolling so fast, you don't even look really. So it needs to really pop off the phone and slap them in the face and grab their attention. Once you get them in there, a lot of people think, okay, that's all I need. That's half the battle. It's not. That's just the beginning. Now you need to actually sell them. You need to create that emotion with them that they need that item, that
Mhm.
they feel that connection, that they have that already in their house, or if you're selling apparel, that they're wearing that shirt, or if you have a cell phone, that they actually have that cell phone case in their hand. You need to create that emotional bond with them. And you can do that various different ways by showing it in lifestyle photos or, different variations. If you have dogs, for instance, and you have multiple breeds of the dog in the same exact style with the one line or maybe cartoon style or oil painting. If you're showing those different breeds, as they're scrolling through, they may see their dog or cat. And in that case, they're seeing the breed and they know, hey, this would be great if I got it myself. So that's how you're going to create that emotional connection and bond with them. The more that you can do that and get it together, that's how you create that buy. If somebody's going to favor it and say, you know what, I'm going to come back, everybody does this. I've done it myself. When you think about it, you go to Amazon, you go, you know what, I like this. I'm going to look at it later. When you go back to Amazon, you don't go and look back at it later. You just type in a new search again.
Yeah,
So in that case, they may not find you that second time. Sell them on that first time. So
right.
have something that literally jumps off the screen, slaps them, shakes them, and says, hit that buy button now.
So to translate this into like an action step, basically, so like, let me just share my screen real quick so we can go back over this. So I completely understand what you're saying. So let's just visually kind of explain here. So for example, like let's click back on this one that's sold 6 times in the last 24 hours. Actually, seven now. 7 people have bought in the last 24 hours. So like technically it's a custom portrait. So like you can select one person and a pet, 2 people and a pet, whatever. But the opening image, right? Like it would be if it's like you could split test this. Basically, you're saying like if it's you and a dog, like even though it's the same thing, like you can do the same thing in this listing versus another listing, like show you and a pug, then show you and a golden retriever, because the person that has a golden retriever is more likely to click on that than say this, where this looks like a obscure dog or something like that. So
Yeah,
each,
and also the fact that they're offering number of people and pets is that they're really going for people that have portraits of their whole family, like
yeah,
a family event and things like that, which is great.
yeah. And this, oh yeah, even like to your point there, like maybe it's a family with 2 people. So you would just duplicate this and then put another kid here because that person is looking for 2 people, basically, if that makes sense. Is that
Yes.
more selling? And then as far as like the other things in terms of like making yourself pop, like what would you do in terms of the main image to make you, I guess, stand out more? I mean, this is pretty neutral colors, which I mean, it's obviously working for them, but like do you do badges like this and stuff like that, or just
You
split?
can. That does help. I'm going to share my screen real quick to show you a great example here. So this one right here, right? And it's had 3,770 sales. If you look at it, it's this dog here. Go to
Mhm.
the next picture, you have another dog and then
Got
another
it,
one.
got
Click here, all these different dogs
it. Mm,
and even the cats and all these pets, parrots, bunnies. This is what is really setting them apart is because if you're scrolling through and you have, this is a golden lab. If you
mhm,
have that, then you're set. You think, "Oh my god, my dog Chansey would be
mm,
great on this." And then that's how you're selling them
mm,
because you have that emotional connection with their dog on there. They're seeing and envisioning their dog now in that poster or
mhm,
cell phone case or whatnot. And that's how you're going to really connect with them and get that sale.
mhm, that makes sense. 100%. Cool, cool. And then in terms of, I guess for digital downloads, I mean, what's your take on like having upsells? Like having, um, is that something that you do or teach or like if the product, I know digital downloads is really hard, but well, not even because people do it with digital downloads with this because it's so custom. But what is your take on having a drop down menu? I always say that I think that like 100, if you can have a drop down menu, you should 100%.
So
Um,
you wanna keep the upsell as simple as possible, and always having an option is really great. Upsells are amazing. I'm drinking this, smoothie from Smoothie King right now. You should go out and buy it. I'm just kidding. We are not sponsored by Smoothie King, but either way, upsells are wonderful because it allows you to get extra money for the same amount of work.
yes, yes, yeah. So if you can, don't sell yourself short. Like, don't limit yourself just one to one. So, like in that one, like this is a really good example. The one that he just showed is a really good example. Like, don't just limit yourself to, you know, this is only two people and a kid and a dog. Wait a second. No, like that price actually changes. You're jumping from $9 to $28, right? And so when you do that, right, you're getting people on the click for $9 because they see a very sexy value proposition, right? But then there's always a percentage of people that are going to buy more expensive things off your listing, which that is going to go and increase your average order value, right? Which is also something that you can see here in your competition, right? So there's something called AOV, average order value. And, if all these are priced at $10, but they have tiers of upsell, that's how you increase the amount of money that people spend on that listing. And that shows Etsy that historically, your listing makes more money than somebody else selling the same thing with the similar keywords. So who's Etsy going to favor? They're going to obviously favor your listing where people are historically spending more money. So drop down
And
menus is another huge selling point as well. Go ahead. Sorry.
and the big thing is, like I said earlier too, it's the same amount of work.
Right.
So if you can get paid to do the same amount of work, you might as well, you
Right.
know?
Exactly.
That's a win-win right there, because if you have one per if you get a picture and it's only one person or a couple and you're doing it, it's gonna be the same time process, the same steps as if you did 14 people.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So anything else that you can think of in terms of strategy? I mean, that is
Just that beautiful Smoothie King.
well, George, this
Yeah.
has been awesome. We're gonna reach out to Smoothie King and see if they'll sponsor us. And yeah, hopefully that will pay for this video to get edited.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Third time's the charm. Let's see if we get this on there.
This one's going live. All right. But before we go, we always ask the question, what are you never gonna stop striving for until death stop you?
Always learning, always building, always succeeding. I love money, so that's definitely one huge thing, but always learning and just building more and more.
Yeah, never stop because I think you actually even said this in the last take. What did you say? If you stop learning, then that's when you
You fade away. So I think I wasn't so abrupt in the last time that we talked. It was more of a fading away, not die, but
you're gonna die.
yeah, you'll die.
All right, George, this has been awesome. Guys, he has a free community. It's free. People spend $100+ a month to be in paid communities. His community is free for equal or even more value. So I will link his school community down below, his YouTube channel, so you can check out all the things. George, thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming on and taking this 2-hour call with me. And hopefully we'll have you back on soon.
Awesome. I'll talk to everybody later.
Bye, guys.